Hey guys, Ross here, welcome back to the channel, and this is a mod for Hearts of Iron 4 called August Storm, and it changes a lot of things about the base game. So let's get down into the details. One thing that we notice in game is that a lot of the map colors are different, and also some of the countries are bigger than others. We notice that British Raj is in blue. We notice that Soviet Union is in this kind of dark maroon, which I really do like. Some of the most noticeable changes is that actually in the Middle East, we had the formation of a kind of an Israeli state, a Palestine state, and then those are kind of broken up there. We see the Kingdom of Egypt itself is now formed. It's not owned by England. Also, the area that's around Saudi Arabia is actually owned by the British Raj and not the British Empire itself. Overall, the map is just enhanced. The colors are better. They're more easily recognizable. There are a couple new countries as well, as there's a couple new puppets for Japan as well for the Soviet Union. But all in all, it's great changes and very well done. August Storm also has a lot of different changes within the national focus trees for the major nations as well as the smaller nations. In the major nations, you'll notice some of these things across the top, such as Prepare Grand Land Offensive and Launch Grand Land Offensive, where it actually gives the AI bonuses, and those all those focuses are just for the AI. Now, I haven't seen the AI use it, but that's also because they have to be at war. Right away, we can see that there's differences within the German focus tree because some events are just gone entirely, others have been moved around. The reason being, there's some events that are now just timed-based events, like the Demand of Austria. On the other hand, the Russian tree, I can't really see any differences from the few times I actually played with Russia, but I have to admit I haven't played with Russia that much to just kind of look at a glance and see if there's any changes. But from what I've noticed, not many changes except for the AI focuses. Now, the one thing about August Storm that you most certainly will notice if you don't notice the colors, if you don't notice the focus tree, is how well the AI performs in this. And this is just a limited exposure, but if you just watch this Russian army go against Poland, you can see that they're just rapidly advancing through the nation. This is on just normal aggression stance. This is not the aggressive stance. As well as you're seeing the armies actually take territory that's undefended and also closing off pockets by itself, where the AI in the base game doesn't seem to be able to do that. Also, you're not seeing a lot of reassignments up and down the line. They're actually pushing forward regardless of, okay, is this one army up here not covering? If you look over here, this is the German area, and you can see right there to the right, my army pops over and takes that little island, which is very impressive because, again, something that you would never see the normal AI do. With generals, there's a change as well. The regular generals can only control 12 units instead of 24 units. I don't understand the change, it wasn't listed in the description, but nonetheless, field marshals are the only ones that can control more than 12 units now instead of 24. So it's just going to have to change the way how you think about using your generals. If anyone will have anything to gripe about, it's going to be that the mod developer has chosen that everyone will use the NATO identification markers. For someone like me, I fully understand what these markers mean, but for a typical gamer, maybe they don't. Now, I can understand why other people would complain about it because, well, even me, I like seeing just tanks and infantry when I play a video game because I'm not trying to play army right now, I'm just trying to have some fun. The final thing I need to go over about this mod, in my opinion, is actually the extension of two different things. One being the timeline. Instead of the game ending in 1949, it ends in 1999, which is a substantial increase of 50 years. So it gives you a lot longer gameplay so you don't have to be forced or feel like you're forced in ending the game sooner. The other thing is to add onto that gameplay is there's a lot more addition into the tech tree, most noticeably in the armor or tanks, as well as with the infantry, with the guns, the mechanized, as well as other things that go along with that. So it gives you a lot more playability as you extend out into the 1970s and 80s, and just helps your armies to continually improve, but so is the AI, so it's still relatively balanced. From what I can tell, there's really no changes with the additional kinds of tech. I don't see any new Navy ships, and I didn't see any kind of industry, but there's plenty of new tanks and also helicopters. I don't know how they work, but there are helicopters, which is very interesting. Overall, I love this mod. August Storm does a lot of things right. It fixes the AI, it adds new technology, it extends the timeline, which by itself is just amazing because you're extending the timeline and you're extending the tech to go along with that. Because if you just extend it to 1999, there's still no point in playing because you're dealing with 40 years with no new technology. But now you actually have technology to research, and so there continues that gameplay and actually makes it a playable game for more than just 1949. Now, if I was to rate this mod, which I haven't rated a mod before, like between a scale, I just always used a thumbs up or thumbs down. I'll still use a thumbs up for this mod, but if I rate it between a 1 and 10, I'm going to give a 9. Now, the reason I'm going to give it a 9 is the one reason is the forcing of the NATO counters, and NATO counters only in all caps on their description page, which I just don't understand from a gamer point of view. The vanilla game itself already has NATO counters ability, and you can turn it on and off. Forcing everybody that uses this mod to use NATO counters and then saying in all caps any complaints will be deleted gives me this impression that you think that you are somehow more elite than everybody else that does not use NATO counters. And as a mod developer, I don't understand why you would not be open to suggestions of just, well, no, don't force it, because, well, there's going to be people that want to play this game and look at tank units and see tanks, and look at infantry and see infantry, and look at mechanized and see mechanized symbol. Like me, and I'm in the army. I don't want to stare at, a whole bunch of symbols of, different X's and circles and stuff and try to, remember what everything means, even though I know what it means because it's part of my full-time career. I'm still playing the game. And I just don't get, from a gamer point of view, why you have to force that. Other than that, though, this is an amazing mod, and I have to give it to them. They did an amazing job, and I'll give credit where credit is due. They did a great job, and definitely thumbs up to them. And hopefully in the future, they'll add more stuff, more future tech nodes, naval stuff, and more balance to AI. I got a lot of hopes for this. As always, though, I'm the Flying Ross, and I'll check you guys next time.